Do all those visits, don't they undermine the importance of the electorate? Because the electorate are the ones who will reach out there and on the big day, go out there and vote.
No, on the contrary, it may assist the electorate to decide which political party they want to vote for or which presidential candidate, because it's always going to undermine it. Some people's name come across as, oh, never again. I don't want to mention names here, but the fact remains that some people will say, oh, is this a company you are keeping? They may not express it, but when they have the opportunity of exercising their franchise, they will take a decision. And therefore, what we need to do is that we should ensure we conduct a manifestly free, fair, and transparent election so that the choice or choices expressed by this electorate are not in any way undermined. Don't forget, they've been fixing election in Nigeria for a very long time. Things are improving, and we can only continue to engage the institution that is saddled with the responsibility of conducting election to live up to its responsibility.
And no party can claim righteousness on that one. But the thing about all of this as we proceed towards the big elections is that much as they do all of these visits, don't you think that at some point in time, they also miscalculate? Because yes, they could visit whoever they want to visit. The electorate, are the politicians consistently following up because they're becoming more dynamic now? There's a lot more channel for them to see through so many things. And so sometimes the politicians themselves get surprised at who the electorate eventually elect.
If I get your question well, people have the constitutional right to visit whoever they want to visit. They also have the right to publicly associate with people of like minds. It's like currying the endorsement of such a person. Whether that endorsement will translate to votes that will get you back into office is another question or issue altogether. In the Western world, they do it. That's why you see an average Republican publicly identifying with former President Ronald Reagan, because the finest of republicanism is exemplified by President Ronald Reagan, and they believe once you do that, you're going to win. Al Gore probably lost the election because he said, I'm my own man. He did not publicly identify with President Clinton, whose approval rating in office was his swearing in spite of the scandal. Therefore, we're also seeing that in Nigeria. I've gone to see my father. It was a private visit. He just came back from hospital. That's fine. But if your intention is to get him to rally support for you, let us wait until the jury will be held, because, I mean, I don't want to be magisterial about the effect of that.
If we had a debate at local government, state government, senatorial, House of Representatives, and presidential level, would all these visits still be taken as seriously as the politicians are taking them now?
Well, unfortunately, because of our level of the literacy level and the deprivations that people are going through now, go find out the percentage of the people who vote, their literacy level, whether they are informed or not. Even if they watch a debate. I can tell you this. When I was running for the Senate in 2007, I went for one of our campaigns, and I was telling them why we should do this, why we should do that. And somebody said to my hearing, oh, this man, you are sweet talking us. Let us have the money you have brought for us and save us all this trouble. That's an average voter. And that's a danger to democracy. However, such people, when they can't take a decision or informed decision on their own, they look up to a community leader in their area and ask him for direction, Nibola and law. And that's why, in spite of the shortcomings of the democracy we have or the civil rule we currently operate, there's no alternative to it. It can only get better with time. Caveat: conduct of free, fair election.
So you do believe that endorsements matter? You believe that past leaders do hold, I mean, this is in spite of whether or not they've tried to run for office and did not succeed at it.
I agree it does matter. And it's not limited to the other divide. Don't also forget that the leaders of my party, whom I respect, also paid former President Olusegun Obasanjo a visit. Even though some people were wondering, I mean, what is going on here? And that's why they say that no ideology, no permanent interest. What is it? What they do is, oh, let us just win election. With benefit of hindsight now, if you want to play ideological politics in Nigeria, you want to do it the way they do it in the Western world, you are not likely to go very far. For instance, if APC or the leaders of the legacy parties, ACN, CPC, faction of Abga, had not come together to form APC, what we are saying now clearly that there's an alternative that can produce another government would not have been possible, because PDP was always steamrolling themselves into office because one, all over Nigeria they are there. You know, it's a loose patronage network as defined by Professor John Lewis of Johns Hopkins University, and deep pockets, patronages to dispense, and all those aforementioned factors play significant role in who will win election or not. But there's nowhere in Nigeria today that you have PDP presence that you don't have APC. If for only one reason, we don't even know the difference between these two people because they keep going back and forth from one party to the other. Let's try the alternative. That's what they do in other jurisdictions. When Labour Party lost election, it was not as if people preferred the Conservative. And that was why they had what they called election that was, it wasn't conclusive, but they had to form a coalition. That is good for democracy. That will engender, it will deepen our democracy.
All right, Mr. Bisi Adegbuyi is a member of the APC and a legal practitioner. He was also a delegate at the just concluded national conference. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We're back in just a moment. Join us again. Bashir is asking, when are we going to have presidential debate? Bashir wants to see that happen in Nigeria. Okay, and then you have so many others, but unfortunately, I'm afraid we have to let it go here today. We thank you all for watching and for the interesting comments as well. Just keep them coming through. We appreciate all of them. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain, so yeah, I hesitated while saying that, didn't I?
He's saying it cautiously. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Mao.
And I'm Nell Taigwe.
Bye-bye.